Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer from the depths of who you are, not the surface, not the mask you wear for the world. Are you truly ready to become the person you were meant to be? Are you done flirting with the idea of greatness and finally ready to make it your identity? Because this life you're living, this moment right now, is not a rehearsal. You don't get a second run. You don't get to hit reset. So tell me, with all honesty, are you living each day like it matters? Or are you waiting for the perfect moment that never comes? The truth is, most people die with their greatness still buried inside them. They silence their potential with excuses. They wrap their power in layers of fear, doubt, and what-ifs. They live small. They think small. They talk small. And then they wonder why their life feels heavy, empty, and forgettable. But not you. You didn't come here to be average. You didn't come here to survive. You came here to thrive. You came here to ignite something within you that refuses to settle. And to do that, you need new language, a new rhythm, a new truth that you declare to yourself every single day until your bones believe it. Because what you speak into your life becomes your reality. So from this day forward, these are not just affirmations, they are weapons. Weapons against mediocrity. Shields against doubt. Maps to the life you've always known you were meant for. Say it with me. I am the best. Not because I'm better than you. Not because I seek to outrun someone else's path. But because I refuse to betray my own. I am the best version of me. Not by accident. Not by genetics. But by intention, by design, by devotion, because I choose it. Every single day, the world is loud. It will try to convince you that you are not enough. It will bombard you with advertisements, telling you that you need to be prettier, richer, stronger, smarter, that you need to buy more, do more, be more, to matter. But here's the truth no one wants to sell you. You already matter. You mattered the moment you took your first breath. You mattered when you were at your lowest. You mattered when you were invisible, unheard, underestimated. You mattered before they saw your value, and you'll matter long after they forget your name. The only question is, will you finally believe it? Because belief is not something you wait for. Belief is something you build, brick by brick, action by action. Thought by thought, and when you look in the mirror and speak the words, I am the best, you're not lying to yourself. You're reminding yourself of what's been buried beneath fear for far too long. And once you accept that truth, everything begins to change. The way you walk into a room, the way you make decisions, the way you speak to yourself in moments of doubt, it all shifts. Not with arrogance, with conviction. You see, the moment you believe you are worthy, you stop asking for permission. You stop dimming your light. You stop shrinking to fit into places that were never meant to hold your magnitude. You don't beg for approval. You don't explain your fire. You let it burn, and those who are cold will either step into your warmth or walk away. And that's when the second truth becomes your fuel. I can do anything. Not as a slogan, not as a wish, but as a law of your inner universe. Because if there's one thing that has destroyed more dreams than failure ever could, it's the whisper of I can't. Those two words have killed businesses before they were built. They've silenced songs before they were sung. They've buried books before they were written. I can't is the most dangerous phrase in the English language, and it's time you rip it from your vocabulary and bury it 6 feet deep. Say it louder this time, I can do anything. Do you feel that shift in your body, that fire starting to light up behind your ribs? That's not fantasy. That's potential being remembered. You're not here to be limited. You're not a mistake. You're not some defective human who got handed a bad deck. Yes, life may have dealt you pain, but so what? Everyone you admire was forged in fire. They didn't rise because the path was easy. They rose because they believed the climb was worth it, and so do you. So stop staring at the mountain and start taking the step, the first one, the small one, the shaky one, the one that no one sees. That step will teach you more than any book, any class, any guru. because motion kills fear. Action destroys doubt, and once you move, your belief grows legs. The more steps you take, the stronger the truth becomes. I can do anything stops being a fantasy and becomes a way of life. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Because your future, it's not waiting for someone else. It's waiting for you. Now say it with me. My future is bright. I don't care what the bank account says right now. I don't care if the world called you a failure. I don't care what your past looks like or how messy today feels. None of that defines what's ahead. The sun still rises. The page still turns. And if you've got breath in your lungs and fire in your gut, then your story isn't over. Not even close. Every setback was setting you up. Every delay was preparing you. Every heartbreak was shaping the kind of strength that success will one day demand from you. Your future is not a punishment, it's a promise that if you keep showing up, if you keep your eyes on what can be instead of what was, the road will rise to meet your feet. Even if today is dark, remember, every storm ends, every cloud moves, every night turns to morning. You just have to keep walking long enough to see it. So don't you dare give up. You just have to keep walking long enough to see it. Because what's waiting on the other side of your current struggle is not just relief, it's revelation. It's not just survival, it's elevation. And every time you whisper, even when it's hard, my future is bright, you pull that vision closer. You bring the horizon into view. You summon the strength that was already there, waiting to be called. The world wants you to be blind to it. It profits off your hopelessness. It thrives on your fear. But you're not buying that anymore. You're not surrendering to the fog of uncertainty. You're lighting a fire and walking forward, because you know what's ahead is greater than what's behind. And that brings us to the next truth that will anchor your journey. I am getting better each day. Let go of perfection. Let go of the lie that you have to be flawless to be powerful. That lie is poison. It keeps you stuck. It convinces you to quit when you're only one step away from the breakthrough. Listen to me. Progress is enough. Progress is everything. Because growth, real growth, is rarely visible in the moment. You don't watch a tree grow. You don't notice the shift in your strength after one workout. You don't hear the exact second your mindset changes. But it's happening, quietly, steadily, unstoppably. Each time you choose the better habit instead of the easy one, each time you respond with patience instead of rage, you evolve. Each time you get back up after falling, even if you're bruised and tired and no one sees it, you rise. That is the real work. That is the inner transformation that no trophy or applause could ever match. So stop waiting for the world to validate you. It's not their job. And stop shaming yourself for not being there yet. You are not behind. You are becoming. Becoming takes time. It takes silence. It takes falling in love with the process more than the result. And that's what you're doing now. You're not who you were a year ago. Hell, you're not who you were last week. You're shedding layers. You're building mental muscle. And the person you're becoming is worth every sacrifice, every quiet morning, every disciplined choice. Say it not with hope but with certainty. I am getting better each day. Because when you believe that, you stop focusing on how far you have to go and start honoring how far you've come. And that shift alone can move mountains. But belief without action is just noise. So the next truth is your bridge to results. I will work hard. Let's not sugarcoat it. Success is earned. It is not gifted. It is not found in shortcuts or silver bullets. It's found in early mornings, late nights, and the hours when no one's clapping for you. It's found in consistency, in grit, in showing up when every part of you wants to stay comfortable. The grind isn't glamorous. It's rarely Instagram-worthy, but it is sacred. It's where you become the person who deserves the life you dream about. You have to choose the sweat over the scroll, the reps over the rest, the lesson over the excuse, because there are people out there who are less talented than you, less equipped than you, but they're winning because they show up when others don't. They do the work, day in, day out, and that can be you. If you make say it like a promise to yourself. I will work hard. Not when it's convenient, not when it's easy, but especially when it's uncomfortable. especially when it's lonely, because that's when your character is being forged. That's when your mind is being strengthened. That's when the universe is watching, asking, do you really want this? You say you want it. You say you crave the results. But do you respect the process? Because the process is not optional. The pain is part of the price, and you will either pay in sweat now, or you will pay in regret later. The choice is always yours. And here's the thing. There's honor in the hustle. There's nobility in the grind. When you look back one day, you won't remember the easy moments. You'll remember the nights you pushed through, the mornings you rose before the sun, the battles you fought when no one was watching. That's what greatness is built on. But greatness dies the moment you give power to excuses. And that brings us to the next unshakable truth. No excuses. None. Not one. Excuses are the anesthesia for your potential. They numb you just enough to accept average. They feel good in the moment, but they steal from your future. They tell you that your comfort matters more than your calling, and they lie. You're not too old, you're not too late, you're not too tired, too broken, too poor, too unlucky, too anything. You are ready. But as long as you let excuses run the show, you'll keep getting the same results. So today is the day you shut that door. You kill the story that's been keeping you stuck. And you start owning your path with radical responsibility. Say it and mean it. No excuse, because every excuse you remove clears the path to your greatness. Every lie you silence opens space for truth. The truth that you are capable. The truth that you have what it takes. The truth that everything you need to begin is already within you. You're not here to play small. You're not here to bow down to obstacles. You're here to crush them, to outwork them, to outlast them. And the only way to do that is to take full ownership of every moment, every choice, every outcome. Let's keep the momentum going. Continuing seamlessly, every outcome yours to own, not your parents, not your bosses, not your past, not society's, yours. This is your life, your movie, your name on the credits, and it's time you start directing it like it means something. No more blaming, no more waiting for someone to rescue you. The hero you've been searching for, they're already inside you, and they're ready to rise. But you need to remember this next truth like your soul depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. I was born to do great things. Say it. Again. Say it like you finally remembered who you are. Because somewhere along the way, life convinced you otherwise. You were told to stay quiet, play it safe, fit in, follow the rules. You were told to be realistic, to tone it down, to wait your turn. But none of that was ever your truth. You've always felt it. That hum beneath the noise, that pull in your chest when you think about something more. That's purpose. That's destiny. That's your greatness calling your name. And you don't need anyone's permission to answer it. You weren't born to be wallpaper. You weren't born to blend in. You weren't placed on this earth to just pay bills and disappear. No. You were born to build, to move, to shake the ground beneath you with your presence and your passion. Whether your greatness shows up in art, in business, in service, in love, doesn't matter. What matters is that you own it. What matters is that you stop waiting for the world to tell you it's time and start telling the world, I'm already here. Because greatness isn't a crown you're given. It's a truth you choose, and every day that you live below it, a piece of you dims. No more. You were born to do great things, and greatness begins the moment you believe you're worthy of it. But the path to greatness isn't always applause and light. It's often rejection and shadows. And when that happens, when people talk, when they doubt you, when they laugh, or criticize, or try to box you in, you hold this next truth like armor. People's opinions don't affect me. Let them talk. Let them whisper. Let them roll their eyes and mock and misunderstand. That's their business, not yours. Because people will always have something to say, especially when your life becomes a mirror that reflects back their own fear. Your ambition will threaten their complacency. Your courage will expose their comfort, and they won't like it. But you didn't come here to be liked. You came here to be legendary. So stop giving them your energy. Stop letting their words rent space in your head. Stop lowering your volume to match their comfort zone. You are not here to audition for acceptance. You are here to execute your mission. Say it again, louder this time. People's opinions don't affect me. Because the moment you start filtering your decisions through their judgments, you hand them the pen to your story. And that's the fastest way to live a life you don't recognize. You owe it to yourself to stay focused, to stay grounded, to stay aligned with your values, your truth, and your vision. Let them gossip. You'll grow. Let them doubt. You'll deliver. Let them watch. You'll win. Your path is sacred, and no one, not your friends, not your family, not the critics in the cheap seats, gets to define what that looks like. Only you do. So walk boldly, speak clearly, live loudly. And if they can't handle your light, tell them to put on sunglasses, because you're not dimming anymore. And when the noise fades, when the crowds disperse and the dust settles, there's one truth that will rise above everything else, the truth that makes all the grind, all the struggle, all the silent nights worth it. Say it with reverence. Life is precious. This is not a drill, not a warm-up, not a to-do list. This is your one wild, sacred, astonishing chance to be here, right now, in this breath, in this heartbeat. So don't waste it. Don't sleepwalk through it. Don't rush through one moment to get to the next, missing the miracle that's unfolding right in front of you. The grind is important. The discipline is vital. But so is the joy. So is the laughter. So is the pause to watch the sunset, to call your mom, to hug your child a little longer, to feel the wind on your face and remember I'm alive. You're not here forever. None of us are. And when your time comes, you won't remember how many followers you had. You'll remember whether you showed up, whether you loved deeply, whether you made it count. So live now, boldly, freely, gratefully. Say yes to the opportunities. Say no to the drama. Protect your peace, cherish your time, and above all, stay awake to the gift that this moment truly is, because once it's gone, it's gone. So make your life a masterpiece, not someday, today, because everything you've ever dreamed of becoming starts not in a perfect future, but in a courageous now. This moment, this breath, this decision, that's where change is born. That's where the old version of you dies, and the real you begins to breathe. No more waiting, no more watching from the sidelines while other people write their legacy. No more pretending like you don't feel that fire inside you burning for more. You've got the tools now. 9 truths, 9 weapons, 9 incantations that reshape your identity from the inside out. And if you speak them every single day, not just with your lips but with your life, there will be no force on this earth that can stop you. Say them even when you don't feel them. Say them when your heart is broken. Say them when your back is against the wall. Say them through the tears. Say them through the setbacks. Say them until they don't just sound true. They become true. Because the voice you speak to yourself with is the architect of your reality. So speak power. Speak life. Speak victory. Say, "Hi, I'm the best. I can do anything. My future is bright. I am getting better each day. I will work hard. No excuses. Heavy fears, born to do great things. People's opinions don't affect me. Life is precious. And when you live those words, not just on good days, but on every day, you rise. You transform, you break the cycle. You become the one who didn't just talk about potential, but embodied it. Your past does not define you. Your mistakes don't own you. Your fear does not speak for you. What defines you now is what you decide to believe. And belief is the spark. Action is the flame. But commitment is the wildfire that consumes everything that ever tried to hold you back. So stay committed, even when the path is lonely, even when the results are slow, Even when the old voices of doubt creep back in and whisper, "Who do you think you are?" you answer back with certainty, "I am the best version of me, and I'm only just getting started." Because this isn't a trend for you. This isn't a New Year's resolution or a motivational high that fades in a week. This is your new standard. This is your identity. And the beautiful thing about identity is that once it shifts, the world has no choice but to catch up. They'll start to notice. They'll feel your energy change. They'll see it in your walk, your work, your words, but by then it won't even matter, because you're no longer doing it for them. You're doing it for you, for the kid inside who once felt invisible, for the dream you buried under real life, for the future self who's waiting on the other side of this discipline. You're doing it because mediocrity has nothing to offer you, because average has never excited your soul, because you've tasted potential and now you're hungry. So feed it. Feed it with focus. Feed it with fire. Feed it with those daily truths that keep you grounded in who you're becoming. And if you ever forget, if the storm gets loud and your vision gets blurry and the weight starts pressing down again, come back to the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes and remind yourself, I am the best. I can do anything. My future is bright. I am getting better each day. I will work hard. No excuses. I was born to do great things. People's opinions don't affect me. Life is precious. This is your life. This is your mission. This is your time. Now go. Live like you believe it. You've got the mindset. You've got the language. You've got the truth burning inside of you now. But here's the part no one talks about. What happens when life doesn't respond right away? What do you do when you've been speaking these truths for weeks, for months, and still the results haven't come? You keep going. Because results aren't always immediate. But identity is. You don't become powerful the moment the world applauds you. You become powerful the moment you decide to be. And power doesn't come from being noticed. It comes from being consistent. Quietly, unshakably, relentlessly. There will be seasons when you plant and nothing seems to grow. Seasons where you give and don't get back. Seasons where you show up, and all you're met with is silence. But understand this. Silence is not absence. It's preparation. Just because you can't see the roots doesn't mean they're not growing. Just because your name isn't being called yet doesn't mean you're not chosen. There's a sacred power in persistence, in doing the work with no spotlight, in showing up before you're celebrated. That's the proving ground. That's where champions are made. So keep speaking your truth. Keep working your vision. Keep sharpening your mind. You are being tested, not punished. You are being stretched, not broken. And everything you are doing today is building a future version of you who's already thanking you in silence. You don't need to rush it. You just need to respect it. Respect the process. Respect the journey. Respect the struggle that's molding you into someone unstoppable. Because here's what most people never realize. The version of you that wins big doesn't come from ease. It comes from pressure, from tension, from nights when you almost quit but didn't. So keep standing, keep grinding, keep rising. And while the rest of the world keeps looking for hacks and loopholes and shortcuts, you stay on the hard road, the real road, the one that doesn't promise comfort but guarantees transformation, the one that demands your effort and rewards your soul. Because greatness isn't measured by what you achieve alone. It's measured by what you overcome, by how many times you wanted to stay down, but stood up anyway. That's legacy. That's what your kids will remember. That's what your future self will honor. Not the trophies, but the tenacity. Not the success, but the strength to build it. And here's one more truth they won't teach you in school or sell you on a podcast. Success is not the goal. Alignment is. Alignment with your values. Alignment with your purpose. Alignment with your potential. When you're in alignment, the grind feels different. You're not just chasing a number. You're fulfilling a mission. You're doing work that makes your spirit feel alive. You're not hustling to escape your life. You're working to expand it. So every morning you wake up, ask yourself, am I moving in alignment? or just movement? Am I getting closer to who I want to be, or just keeping busy? Because busy is a trap. Busy is the illusion of progress. But alignment is magnetic. It pulls people, energy, resources, opportunities, everything you need into your orbit. When you speak truth, live truth, and walk in truth, the world has no choice but to respond. So stop chasing attention. Start living with intention. The applause will come, but by the time it does, you won't even need it. Because you'll already know. You'll know you're the best. You'll know you can do anything. You'll know your future is bright. You'll know you're improving every day. You'll know your work ethic is unmatched. You'll know excuses are dead to you. You'll know greatness isn't just possible, it's personal. You'll know the noise can't touch you. And you'll know deep in your bones that life is precious, and you are making it count. Because the old version of you, the one who doubted, who delayed, who waited for someone else to validate them, they're gone. They served their purpose. But this one right here, the one who stands in truth, who acts in faith, who breathes in discipline and exhales power, that's the version who builds the empire. That's the version who finishes what they start, who rewrites the script, who leaves no dream behind, who dies empty, because they gave everything they had to the life they were called to live. And if that's the kind of life you want, then start living it now, not tomorrow, not when it feels easier, not when the fear disappears. Now, even with the doubt, even with the fear, even with the mess and the chaos and the pain of becoming. Especially then, because that's where real confidence is born. Not from pretending everything's perfect, but from standing tall in the storm and declaring, "This is who I am. This is what I believe. This is what I was made for, and nothing will stop me now." Now go, live that truth. Let the world adjust. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It doesn't need more people scrolling, doubting, comparing, and complaining. It needs more fire. It needs more people who are awake. Awake to the urgency of now. Awake to the miracle of breath. Awake to the weight of their own power. And that's you. You're not here to be passive. You're here to become the signal in the static. The one who raises the standard. Who makes it unacceptable to stay average. Who becomes living proof that discipline and vision still win in a world chasing shortcuts and distractions. You're not like them. You don't need to be motivated to show up. You show up because it's who you are now. You don't need applause to know you're aligned. You walk with certainty because you know your mission was written long before the world had an opinion. You were called. And the moment you accepted that calling, everything changed. The moment you said, "I'm done explaining, I'm done hiding, I'm done playing small," you stepped into the arena of the 1%. Not because you're better, but because you finally remembered who you are. This isn't about ego. This is about energy. This is about refusing to leak energy into gossip, into worry, into pretending, into people who never deserved a front row seat to your life in the first place. This is about taking back your time, your space, your mind, because you've spent long enough waiting to be ready. Let me tell you the truth. You were born ready. There's nothing else you need to get started. Not another course, not another relationship, not another green light from people who don't even understand your vision. You already have everything inside you. It's not about learning more, it's about trusting more. Trusting your instincts, trusting your discipline, trusting that small, quiet voice inside that keeps saying, "We're made for more." You hear it in the silence. You feel it when you're alone. That ache, that longing, that is your calling. And it won't go away. It's not here to torment you. It's here to lead you. But you have to listen. You have to act. Because vision without execution is just a hallucination. You want the life? Then build it. Brick by brick. Step by step. Prayer by prayer. Action by action. With a trembling voice. With no guarantee except your own conviction That's what makes this beautiful. That's what makes this sacred. No one can give you what you're building. No one can hand it to you. Because the power was never outside you. It's been within you all along. And now you're dangerous. Now you're not just dreaming. You're deciding. You're not just surviving. You're commanding. Commanding your mornings. Commanding your mindset. Commanding your environment. And when you command yourself, your emotions, your habits, your energy, there's not a storm on this planet that can shake you. That's when the world starts to notice. Not because you're louder, but because you're clearer. Not because you're pushing, but because you're pulled by something greater. Because clarity creates power, and power, real power, is quiet. It doesn't scream. It doesn't beg. It doesn't prove. It moves with intention, with certainty, with divine timing, and you've stepped into that now. So here's what happens next. The path will still test you. You'll still have days where your faith is tested, your strength is stretched, your confidence shaken, but you'll walk anyway, because that's what warriors do. You'll feel resistance, but you'll know it's a sign of growth. You'll face doubt, but you'll have tools now. You'll hear the old voices, but you'll have new truths louder than the lies. And above all, you'll trust the process, even when it's unclear, even when it hurts, even when you're doing everything right and the results are taking their time. You'll trust, because you know delayed is not denied. You know that character is built in the wait. You know that what you build in the dark is what shines in the light. So let them wonder what changed. Let them whisper how you flipped the switch. You'll know. It wasn't luck. It wasn't magic. It was truth. It was your decision to speak truth into your life, over and over and over again, until your mind aligned, your actions aligned, your life aligned. It was your willingness to keep going when it was hard. It was your refusal to accept the script the world wrote for you. It was your daily commitment to these declarations. I am the best. I can do anything. My future is bright. I am getting better each day. I will work hard. No excuses. I was born to do great things. People's opinions don't affect me. Life is precious. You became those words. Not overnight, but day by day, word by word, choice by choice, until you looked up one day and realized you didn't just say them anymore. You were them, and the world, it couldn't help but respond. Because the world doesn't respond to who you were. It responds to who you decide to be. So keep deciding, keep becoming, keep rising. You've come too far to go back now. And your future, it's waiting. So go claim it.